Alrighty, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and discuss the lesson 3-2 assignment, which is over converses, inverses, and contrapositives. So let's go ahead and take a look at this example right here. It says that what is the contrapositive of the following conditional? So when I'm saying the contrapositive, first of all, we know that the conditional is in the form if P, then Q, right? But if I'm talking about the contrapositive, I need to flip these letters and then negate each of them. So it would be not Q, then not P. Oops, that should be a not P. Not P. So if Jonah stands on his head, then Lola does a cartwheel. So I'm going to flip these statements, and it should say, if Lola does not do a cartwheel, then Jonah does not stand on his head. So I'm going to hit submit. That should be the answer. Did a great job. So I am building up the smart score here. What is the contrapositive of the following conditional? If Vicky is playing an accordion, then Aisha is playing a timpani, yeah. So I'm dealing with the contrapositive, so it should be not Q, then not P. So it would be this one. Okay? And it looks like it's going to be on repeat. I want to go ahead and try something else. Let's see. Does it have like the converse of something? I don't know. Maybe. Here, let me get some questions wrong. Oh, never mind. Oh, there we go. This is something else I want to talk about. The converse of a statement is just, remember, it's if P then Q for the conditional, but if I'm talking about the converse, it'll be if Q then P. So if Josh gets a raise and he takes a vacation, or if Josh takes a vacation, then he gets a raise. So I'm going to hit submit on that one. That's right. What is the inverse? So again, the conditional is if P then Q. But if I'm talking about the inverse, it's basically you keep the position of the P and Q, and then you start negating each of them. So it's not P, not Q. So if Fred is going to work, then he's not rollerblading. So I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to negate if Fred is going to work. That's going to be if Fred is not going to work, right? Then he is not rollerblading. So to negate this, I need to state the opposite. So that should be then he is rollerblading. So I'm going to hit submit on this one. There you go. And this is another contrapositive. I guess we've already went over converse, inverse, and contrapositive, and we should already know what the conditional is. Okay, so here's level 2. It's this. Look at the following conditionals. If it's not Monday, then Helen is watching her favorite show. And then what's happening from here to here? If it is Monday, then Helen is not watching her favorite show. So I can see, if I'm using my tools here, I can see that this is P, and then this is Q, and then it went from it is not Monday to it is Monday. So I'm basically stating the opposite. So I'm going not P here. Then Helen is watching her favorite show. So looking at this, it's going from this to then Helen is not watching her favorite show. So I'm basically saying from is to is not. So that's not Q. And if you have a not P, then not Q, then that means that you're talking about the inverse. So that's going to be that. Okay? If Harry is not hungry, then he is going to eat a small portion of potato. So label, this is P, this is Q. If Harry is going to eat a small portion of potatoes, then he is not hungry. So I can see that it went from if Harry is not hungry to Harry is going to eat a small portion of potatoes. So that means that this is just swapped, right? This is just swapped. So that means it's if Q, then P. So if it's Q, then P, then that means it's the converse, right? This is the converse format. So I'm going to hit submit on that one. Okay. The next one is, let's see, look at the following conditionals. If John is not going to take a lot of notes, then art class is not next. If art class is next, then John is going to take a lot of notes. So this is P, this is Q. If John is not going to take a lot of notes, switched from there to here. If art class is next, okay. Do you see that right here in the original statement? It says then art class is not next, and then it got moved to the front and got negated. So this is really saying not Q. And then I look at the other one, okay, I'm like, say, then art class is not next, then John is going versus not going. So this is being negated here, so this should be not P. And if you have a not Q, not P, that's a contrapositive, okay? All right, I'm gonna move on because this one can be a little confusing. Is the contrapositive of the following conditional true if S is less than 8, then S is greater than or equal to 6? So the contrapositive would be not Q, not P. So I'm going to say that this is P and this is Q, okay? So then I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, if this, but being negated, so if this is my original thing, right? If this is my original sign, to negate it, I need to flip it. This gets flipped over, but you don't write the equal sign, okay? So what's the opposite of greater than or equal to? Then you'll say, or sorry, not what's the opposite. Well, actually, yes, negation. The negation of this would be, if it's greater than or equal, the negation of that would be less than, but no equal sign. Because remember, this is saying greater than or equal. You don't want this to be equal. You want that to be the opposite of equal, so there's no sign, right? So keep that in mind. So it would be if not Q, this is Q, right? This is currently Q. To negate that, I would say if less than, or sorry, if S is less than 6, then here's my not P. So S less than 8, make that negated. It should be S greater than or equal to 8. See? I'm flipping the sign, and since there is no equal here originally, I got to include the equal sign in this one. Okay, so if S is less than 6, then S, that's an S, is greater than or equal to 8. Okay, so I need to assume that the hypothesis here is true. So I need a number less than 6 that'll satisfy this. So let S be, I don't know, 5, right? So let S equals 5. Is 5 greater than or equal to 8? No. Hit no, press submit. Okay? Just use this tool. This is so helpful. Is the contrapositive of the following conditional true? So here's P, here's Q. The contrapositive is not Q, not P. So flip this, so it should be if, right? So this is, you gotta negate this. It should be if H is greater than or equal to 4, then H is greater than 1. So if H is greater than or equal to 4, then H is greater than 1. So H has to be greater than or equal to 4. So think of a number that's greater than or equal to 4. Let's say H is equal to 4, because 4 is equal to 4, right? So if 4 is equal to 4, is that same 4 greater than 1? Yes. So 4 is greater than 1. You can hit yes and press submit. And look at that, I got 80. I don't like the fact that this is just giving me contrapositives. I want a new one. Oh, inverse. This is perfect. Inverse. Is the inverse of the following conditional true? That means it's not P, not Q, and originally this is P and Q, so I'm going to say S is greater than or equal to 8, then S is greater than 5. Let S be 8, right? Because 8 is equal to 8, is 8 greater than 5. So 8 greater than 5, that's going to hit yes. That it agrees, so I hit yes, and then I'm good. Okay? And then the converse, I'll leave that as an exercise for you to do. All right?